Hello, hello, hello. This is Rich Gale here on YouTube, Rich Gen X elsewhere, and it is time for us to return to Victorian England and Sherlock Holmes versus Arsene Lupin. Now, it should be noted that last time when we left off, we had just heard news that the picture was stolen. And so, it is now our job, as Watson, for the time being, to get a hansom, so we can get to the museum. Now, should be noted that we're also going to meet this gentleman here. He looks like a reporter.
Got a light?
No, sorry.
Is it Sherlock Holmes who lives in these digs here?
Indeed.
Know him?
I do have that honour. I have been of some assistance to him on occasion. Like locating hansoms, for instance.
I say, you're his valet. So tell me, does your master pay well then?
But
I bet you're not above winning a bob or two, am I right? Listen, my friend, word has it that your boss is going to have a right fright tonight at the Picture Museum.
How?
Shh! Listen, my good man. If you want to fill your pockets, here's my card. Piers Urquhart Allen. That's my name. Independent reporter's the game. Spill the beans about his biz, and I'll pay you well. Look for me in one of the pubs round here. You can't miss me.
If Holmes finds out that the press is onto this business, he'll be in an explosive mood. Best to avoid speaking about it.
Yes. Independent journalist. Well, I don't believe that one bit. Of course, then again, I've played this before.
Ah, a hansom. Now to find Holmes and make our way to the National Gallery.
Yep, now we head to the National Gallery.
You've arrived at last, Holmes. We haven't touched anything while we were waiting, except for a ladder which we needed to climb onto the roof. You must have received my message. The painting was stolen.
Yes. Let's ask for the facts.
Did your men see anything?
To tell you the truth, barely anything. There was nothing they could do. The only thing we know for certain is there were two people of athletic build who perpetrated this crime. We don't know if the burglars stole anything other than the painting in question, as they completely redecorated the museum with the paintings of a French artist that were at the entrance to the museum. The paintings that were on the walls are now crammed in the director's office.
Do you have any idea what happened?
Well, not really. I haven't managed to figure it out. We know that the two men exited through the window in the restoration workshop, and that the second man entered through there. But the first man was already in the museum before his accomplice. Yet I had a man in the restoration workshop all yesterday afternoon, and he only left for a minute in order to hear my orders. At no time could the first man have entered through the window. We would have either seen or heard him. The men on the premises confirmed they didn't see anyone pass through the entrance until the alarm was sounded. And those two are the only possibilities. How did this man get into the museum, I ask you?
When you have eliminated the impossible, Lestrade, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
All right.
Where are the director and his assistant?
They're both in the office. Go gently with the director. He's close to having a fit.
Yes,
By
I can
the
only
way,
imagine.
I noticed some traces of paint or something all over. I've asked everyone to avoid trampling on them until you've had a chance to examine them.
You're making wonderful progress, Lestrade.
All right.
Well, I'll go question the neighbours to see if anyone might have seen a 17th century boat descend from the roof.
Watson, accompany Inspector Lestrade. Check out the roof and help out with the interrogations. Be on the lookout, for the slightest detail could gain us some precious time.
You can count on me, Holmes.
All right. Now, yeah, I know we control Sherlock. And you notice here?
It's
There's
a
a lock.
combination lock, a French brand. It looks extremely solid. Impossible to open it without knowing the combination.
That's a rather big box. I think I know. I know what that box was used for. Footprints. Footprints. Footprints.
The paint tracks come from the interior of the museum and stop there. It's curious, but I'd wager that the man who left these footprints rested here a moment while facing the wall and looking at something. Yet these paintings aren't exceptional in the least.
Ah, but yes, they are. That is the crown jewels of England. So now, let's follow these footprints. Ah! Now we can get a closer
Footprints,
look.
look.
Yes. And...
Size 10.
Size 10.
This footprint is quite clear, like a footstep pressed. This footprint is quite clear, like a footstep pressed. This footprint is quite clear, like a footstep pressed. This footprint is rather light. The man who leaves these footprints to return her trip. He was carrying something heavy when he climbed the stairs. Painting, certainly.
Yes. Alright, so we now know we have the footprints. So now, these footprints go this way. No, they come from here, from the restoration room.
The person who left footprints stepped into the paint with his whole foot.
Yes. Like he did on purpose.
Size 10.
Size 10.
Size 10. These footprints are those common work boots.
Okay. But there's the blue paint. And look. Look. Yes.
A footbrush paint. Someone wanted to warn the person who made the footprints of the presence of liquid on the ground, but too late. The man then went beneath the louver of the window to get out on the property with the help of a ladder. He was wearing from France with popular leather non-skid soles which have a distinctive design.
Yes. And let's measure. Come on.
These footprints are size 9.
Size 9. Now there's the window.
It's through there that one of our robbers arrived, and it's also through there that they must have escaped with the help of a ladder.
And this...
Ideal to catch by jumping from this skylight.
Mm-hmm. And what we got here?
Water.
Water. And...
These tools are for restoring paintings.
Yeah. So we found everything in here. But what does this mean? Alright. Now it's time to check all the galleries. And we will start in here because we have something unique here.
A large red square was painted on the floor, most likely by Lupin, but to what end?
Yes. And several paintings have been replaced, and we will now check them all. So that's why I looked at all of them before. That way I know which ones get to be replaced.
What horrors?
Yeah.
Closed.
Okay.
Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have drawn his inspiration from the famous French cheese camembert. They both stink.
Yeah, camembert stinks.
What horrors?
Yeah, what horrors.
A perfect example of neo-cretinism, a Valmont from his convalescent period. The artist of this painting wished to depict the total rejection of aestheticism, and he succeeded.
Yep. Here's another one.
Valmont has unusual taste for a painter.
Yes. I don't think he's Velmont, to be honest. Alright, let's look in here.
Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have drawn his inspiration from the famous French cheese camembert. They both stink. The artist of this painting wished to depict the total rejection of aestheticism, and he succeeded.
See, good, bleh.
A perfect example of neo-cretinism, a Valmont from his convalescent period.
Okay.
Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have drawn his inspiration from the famous French cheese camembert. They both stink.
Yes.
Valmont has unusual taste for a painter. What horrors!
Alright, we've cleared that room. Now, we go in here to the...
German gallery.
Yeah, we know that.
The Flemish artists are found here.
Okay.
What horrors!
Yeah.
A perfect example. Looking
From
at
his
this canvas,
yeah,
the
from
French painter must have...
Common Bear. Yeah, we know.
The artist of this painting wished to depict... It's Sir Pointer, the museum director, who is on display here. Amusing.
Yeah, that's...
Valmont has unusual taste for a painter. Valmont has unusual taste for a painter. The artist of this painting wished to depict the total rejection of aestheticism, and he succeeded.
Okay, now we go into the Dutch gallery.
Valmont has unusual taste for a painter.
Yes.
What horrors! A perfect example.
Frogs.
A perfect example of neo-cretinism. A Valmont.
Alright, so that takes care of this gallery.
The artist of this painting wished to Looking at this canvas, the French
Yes, Common Bear.
A perfect example of neo-cret...
Looks like a child did it.
Hideous, this painting. A round red frame with some green in the middle. The inspiration behind this canvas is rather queer.
Yeah.
What horrors! Valmont has unusual taste for a painter.
Okay, we looked at those.
Mr. and Mrs. Andrews by The artist of this painting wished to depict... A perfect example...
Convalescent Pier, yeah.
Valmont has unusual taste for...
He didn't touch that one,
The
he
artist
touched
of
that
this painting
one.
Wished to...
He's touched that
Valmont
one.
has unusual taste for a painter. What horrors!
Now, what? Hello!
There is something strange on the ceiling. I'll have to climb up to examine it, but Lestrade's men are using the ladder. I'll continue to inspect the museum while I await them. There is something here.
Yes.
A trace of black rubber. 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 These 4 traces of black rubber are identical and form a square.
Yes. So, something was there. A ladder, I will tell you that. The only way to get something up there.
Looking at this canvas, the French... Self-portrait by Horace Valmont. A bit narcissistic, that one.
Yeah, but I don't think it's...
Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have...
No, that one's just the only one that looks
What
decent.
horrors. The artist of this painting wished to depict... A perfect example...
Alright. Didn't touch that. Didn't touch those. Wait a minute. Why am I...
A canvas by Joseph Vernet, my great-great-uncle.
That's probably why he didn't touch those. He has respect for Holmes's uncle.
What horrors! A perfect example. Christ driving the traders from... Valmont has unusual taste for a painter.
Yeah.
What horrors!
Yes, what horrors?
Valmont has unusual
Usual
taste for a painter.
painter.
The artist of this painting wished to depict the... Looking at this canvas, the French painter must have... A perfect example of neo-cretinism.
Alright.
The Valmont from...
We've gone over everything, and now...
Footprints, look.
Yes, these are...
These are shoes with supple... These are shoes with supple, non-skid leather soles of French manufacture.
Which is Vernet. Yes. And if we measure it...
These footprints are
It's our
size
size
9.
9.
The footprints left by Horace Valmont's shoes and those made by one of the 2 crooks are absolutely identical. Lupin is a master of disguise. We met him in person yesterday as Valmont.
Yep. We did. And now, let's talk with the directors and his assistant.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, such a tragedy.
Indeed.
Have you seen what these crooks have done to my museum? Paintings of incalculable value thrown in a heap like hay in a haystack. And the Fighting Temeraire.
Let's talk
Now,
about the theft.
calm down, Director. Do you know if they took anything other than this painting?
The director and I are in the middle of doing an inventory of all the paintings that were moved. We are not certain yet.
The only one who will be happy is Velmont. His paintings now have the best spots.
I'd wager he's doubly happy, but he'd never come to show his gratitude in person.
And when will you be done with your investigation, so that we can put the paintings back in their original places?
A deadline will soon be set, I think. However, it is in our best interest to do it as quickly as possible.
Yes. All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good. We'll be here if you have any further questions. Come, Palinor, back to the inventory.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade wanted you to know that we no longer need the ladder. If you want it, it's near the director's office.
Very good. Because we need it. I just love how you can pick up these huge things, and especially how he can run with them. Alright. Let's put the ladder there. Time to climb it, and we will get a riddle. Get the envelope. Elementary. With a riddle. Alright. Arsene's riddle. If your initials are JL, the answer is yes. If not, Lestrade. If not, greetings, Mr. Holmes. Our meeting yesterday was far too brief, but I bet it won't be the last. It gives me great happiness that you are participating in this adventure, and even if the ending gives you displeasure, you will have been in the first row for the whole show. Please inform Inspector Lestrade, as you know, but contrary to his belief, I most certainly came in through the entrance. I always enter through the main doors, although leaving is a different matter, but enough of the past. Let's look ahead, shall we? After tonight, I will yet again steal one of the emblems of England's pride. My next target can be found somewhere in London, and it is up to you to identify it before I claim it. For this, I have left you several clues throughout the museum. A mind as brilliant as yours should have no trouble finding and interpreting them. But will you be able to finish in time? To start, I've left some paintings on the walls that I didn't have the heart to replace with those from my personal collection. In observing them well and reading the following poem, you will have all the information necessary to determine the location where I spent yesterday afternoon and early evening. A small bit of advice: do not break into the place. A painting of great value is inside, and you will ruin it. Ooh. Into the museum did I go that night, and there did I see Venus and Mars wrapped in white. A rainy day they arrived with much delight. That year without doubt, remember with all might. A tired horseman was sleeping near there without fear. His white horse standing tall whispered into my ear, "My lord, we were painted long ago. That is clear. Truthfully, my second choice, sir, was that year. Hendrix has been dead for ages, I won't be coy. His skaters, young couples, men, women, and here a boy. They were his work, were they but duty or his joy? The length of his life is my third part of the ploy. My fourth is the year of purchase, I swear. Fish and cabbage, young boy and angel, quite a pair. Minus first, second, then, times third. First minus second, then times third. Do you care? Minus the fourth, figure it out, and you'll be there."
This poem by Lupin surely makes reference to 4 paintings presently hanging in the museum. Shall we begin our search?
Yes, I say we do. Alright, now, Venus and Mars wrapped in white. That's in the Italian. Hello? Oh? It is? Well, I'm looking for the first one. Okay, that's the Flemish. This is the Italian. Ah! Venus and Mars wrapped in white. Yeah, so that one was... So let's,
This painting depicts the gods Venus and Mars by Botticelli. This painting was exhibited for the first time in 1874 in the National Gallery.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so 1874. 1874. Next one, let's see, Tired Horseman. Ah! Here's one.
Here's what I've been looking for.
Yes. We know the other one. So what's this one?
Look, a white horse standing by a sleeping man by Peter Verbeek, possibly derived 1652 by Paul Potter.
Alright. Now, to the Dutch gallery, which we ran through here, to this one.
A winter scene with skaters near a castle by Averkamp, 1585 to 1634, one of the greatest painters from the Dutch school of the 17th century. He specialized in winter scenes. The painting originally extended into a square shape.
Interesting. Alright, let's head over to another I think this is it. German gallery. Okay, there is a painting here. Ah, here it is.
Here's what I've been looking for.
Alright, so...
Tobias and the Archangel Raphael by Adam Elsheimer, German painter. The Archangel should ask what kind of bait he used. This canvas was acquired in 1894 by the National Gallery. It was based on a composition he had previously done. It seems that I have found the 4 numbers from Lupin's poem. Now, what do I do with them?
Okay. So we got to calculate them all together. So 1874. And then we got deduct 1652, which will be 222. We then multiply that by 49, the years that, number of years that the painter of the third painting had lived. So we get 10,879. And we deduct 1,894 to give us 8984, which would be a perfect combination. $89, $84.
Open.
Yes! And boom! Yep. Look at that.
A wig and a cushion, for the stomach, no doubt. There is also Velmont's cap and clothing. A half-empty bottle of champagne, to pass the time, no doubt. This is what must have happened. Lupin entered the museum disguised as Velmont.
Yep.
After our meeting, he pretended to leave, but, in fact, came to hide in the case that Palinor had emptied whilst doing his inventory. A hook permitted him to close the case from the inside, and he calmly waited until the time was right. Once alone, he got out and helped his accomplice enter through the skylight without fearing the police. It's the painting by my great-uncle. Look, there's a paper attached.
Yes. Dear Mr. Holmes, you should have at your feet the parts of my disguise from yesterday. No doubt you would have liked to have removed them from me while I was still wearing them. It's possible. Find me in the museum disguised like this, and remove my postaches. Beware. Do it with care and precision, for I am sensitive. That and the fact that you might destroy your next clue. Aha. So now we know where the next clue is. In the French gallery.
Self-portrait by Horace Velmont. A bit narcissistic, that one.
But
This painting has an oil base, but is covered in a fine coat of water paint. I should ask the director how to remove it.
okay. Probably with water.
What do you want, Mr. Holmes?
Very simple.
Sorry to disturb you, gentlemen. Can you explain how to remove a fine layer of water paint that is covering an oil painting?
Yes.
Rest assured, it does not concern a piece from the museum's collection.
It's simple. You'll need some water to soften the paint, a paintbrush with rigid bristles to scrape off the film, and an absorbent sponge to take it all off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good. We'll be here if you have any further questions. Come, Palinor, back to the inventory.
I'm going to do this the quick way. Jump.
Water.
Water. Restoration tools. And now we'll jump. French gallery. Alrighty.
You and I, Lupin.
Alright.
I need something.
Alright. So as long as we get this... No, let's see. We gotta wet this paint. Arsene is very clever. That we can agree on. Alright. Come on. Ah, more up here. So it's a very time-consuming part, but you can start to see where our pattern is. Now we know that now Lupin is a master of disguise, which is common in any depictions of him or his, quote, family. I refer, of course, to Lupin III. Did we get everything? Can be hard to tell. Now, we use the sponge. Oh. Now we're getting starting to see he's got a top hat. Which will give us an idea of where. To be honest, he looks a lot better, not as that arrogant French painter. Say what you want. Arsene looks very, very dignified. And once we get done revealing him, we're going to take a break. We are going to call it an episode. And we will move on with our next. And in the next installment, we will probably finish things up here. Because this just takes time, man. This is taking time, a lot of time. Well, at least the cane was part of the painting. Oh, there is the clue. There is our clue. He has a clue here. Now that's downright clever. He put the clue in his pocket. So let's You have to admit that Lupin looks very dignified. And he is often considered a gentleman thief. So there is, quote, a fairness to what he does. He doesn't go and, quote, try and ruin people. Or sometimes it's a challenge just for him to do stuff. Come on. We want to get rid of this one, don't we? Don't tell me I didn't hit that one. Alright. Come on, let's get rid of the paint. Now, did I forget anything?
There is a bright red C written on this calling card in addition to a poem. This letter must be the beginning of a word or phrase. Now to find the others.
Ah, C. The red surrounding the green isn't right, but for a clue you must look inwardly. If nothing is found despite your great might, my success will make you green with envy. And with that, and that is actually a very flattering picture of our gentleman thief, we shall call it an episode. And next time around, we will continue our investigation at the museum to deduce his next target, although I will admit I already know what he's going to go after. As I have stated, this is actually a game which my wife had gotten for me, so it holds a very deep place in my heart. However, that being said, next time around we will continue this, and I've played through currently, at the time of this recording, 3 previous games released in the timeline, which is actually the 5th one released, then the 3rd one released, and then the 7th one released. So this is the 4th one released, currently 4th in the timeline. Next year, when Chapter 1 comes out, this will become the 5th in the timeline. I invite you, of course, to check out all those playthroughs so far. I am also I have recently finished Alien Isolation, so I have a surprise for tomorrow. If you are watching this before you watch that one. But I do have a surprise. I do have something planned for that. I'm also working my way through the Monkey Island series. I've been playing through a few LucasArts games, and I am currently working on Escape from Monkey Island. I have been working my way through games with Call of Cthulhu in the name, as well as with a bit of a Lovecraftian influence to them. Currently working on Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth. I do a series of runs through the game of Monstrum, which is a fun thing for me to do. And I am working my way through the Myst series. I'm actually on the final game in that timeline, Myst 5, End of Ages. And I am working my way through a bunch of Sierra games, currently working on Shivers 2, Harvest of Souls. And there's some other up on the channel. Take some time, check them out. And as always, have a good one. And goodbye all.